YouTube, it's Alisha. Hi YouTube, it's Alisha and I'm here to answer your questions. Sorry this has been a lot longer wait than I hoped. We were trying to film it last week, but Zach got called into work and I was going to surprise you with Zach. But he got called into work and then my kids got sick and lots of excuses and blah blah blah, but here I am. So let me get to your questions, and I'm going to say that I'm gonna do my portion first and then the kids will answer when Wyatt gets out of school. He's in school right now. So I hope you can hear me and I hope you can see me. You're kind of tilted, but that's the setup I got. I have you on a candlestick holder, a sippy cup, and that's it. So let me get to the questions. I asked this before. Has anyone ever told Zach that he looks like Wentworth Miller? And I've actually heard that a few times. He gets told that he looks like a lot of people. You want to come here? Want to sit with me? That he looks like a lot of people. He also looks like Harry Styles. Yeah, I see his tail. He looks like Harry Styles, Wentworth Miller. You want to sit with me? And who else? Matt Damon. So, yes, we've heard it. Say hi, YouTube.
Hi.
Will you be doing a house tour? Would love to see one. No, I'm not going to do a formal house tour, but you kind of see my house in vlogs when I do a daily vlog, which I'm actually doing today. So, you kind of get an idea. I don't see how it's, I don't know. It kind of makes me nervous. I'm a military wife, and I'm home alone a lot. Let's just say that. What is the hardest part when Zach has to leave? Well, I'm doing it all on my own. That's the hardest part. So so the hardest part is just doing it all on my own. That's the hard part. Do you and Zach get to go out and eat without the kids ever? Not here, not since we've been to Florida. We've been here since November, and no, we haven't. But when we were back home in Washington, we were able to, because our friends would watch them, or our family would watch them, and then we would watch our friends' kids so they can go out. But we don't have that kind of relationship with anybody here yet. So hopefully one day. How is it living in Florida versus living in Washington? Well, Florida is beautiful in a different way. What? Okay, go get a pencil. So basically living in Florida, we got beautiful white sandy beaches and sunny days, so that's really, really great. And it's like, feels like we're in vacation mode, but I really miss Washington. I really miss our friends, and I really miss my family a lot. And I miss my house. My family, I miss my house. We own our home back home. I miss our bonfires that we would have with friends and family. And it's hard when you get settled into a place and you have a routine and then you just uproot yourself and move. So that's hard. But I am slowly adjusting to the change. But yeah. Wait, that's for Wyatt and Zoe. What is the most rewarding thing about being a mom, and why? Gosh. Stay down, Chester. The most rewarding thing is seeing the human that they are becoming, seeing their personalities, and everybody, and I'm not just bragging, but everybody loves my kids. And I'm really proud of that they are becoming such good little kids. They're just so well behaved and so kind, and so that's the most rewarding. What are the challenges and upsides of being a military wife? The challenges is, well, your other half is gone a lot, and you have to accept that it's hard to be, for me, it's hard to be at this, like my husband, his career is so important to him, but so is his family, so he's constantly trying to balance that. And so I feel like sometimes, this is not a very good way to put it, but sometimes I feel like I'm in competition with the military, and I think a lot of you military wives can relate. Like, you just, I don't know how to word it better, but it's just like you get jealous. His time is constantly going to work and the military, and it's like you're trying to fight for that time, so that's hard. So that's a challenge for me. And the upsides is, I mean, you get to travel, you get to, you know, live in new places, and you get to have a really comfortable lifestyle. You have insurance. I mean, rent is guaranteed. It's a guaranteed paycheck. I'm lucky enough to be a stay-at-home mother, and those are the upsides. How many children do you guys want? Any thoughts on a fourth? Well, no thoughts on a fourth right now. I am going to stick with 3 for quite a while, actually. I'm unsure. I am unsure if I am done, but Zach feels like he's done. So if we ever have a fourth, it's going to be down the road, very far down the road, not anytime soon. Do you want any more kids after Sawyer? I already answered that. Will you record labor and delivery? Yes, we will. Of course we will. I also do YouTube for myself for selfish reasons, and one of my favorite videos that I've ever recorded is the delivery of Zoe. I regret that I didn't get it of Wyatt, but it's one of the best videos that I've ever filmed, or Zach's ever filmed, because it captured, you know, Zoe's arrival, which is huge. Do you think boys or girls are easier? I love it. Do you think boys or girls are easier? I think boys are easier. Wyatt is just, I don't know if it's just Wyatt. I see it. Or what, but Wyatt is such a good boy. He's so well-mannered and calm and always been easy. This is what I'm talking about. I could film a video with Wyatt running around me, no problem. Zoe, she doesn't like to listen very well. She's got such a big personality, which I love, but she puts up a fight, and she's just feisty, and she's big personality, so she's a lot harder. So I don't know if that's girl versus boy, or if that's Zoe versus Wyatt. So we'll see with Sawyer. He's the tiebreaker. Keeps losing my spot. Do you have any concerns or fears regarding bringing a third child into the mix? Example, time being spread too thin, being away from family now. P.S. I know you'll be an amazing mom of 3, but I'm just curious. Of course, yeah, and thank you, by the way. Okay, I'm getting toasty here. I had to delete a bunch of things off of my memory card. I need to get, gosh, you are so sideways. I need to get a tripod and batteries, spare batteries and stuff, because I don't want to miss anything with Sawyer's delivery. So anyways, let's get back. What I was saying, I ate cereal, had a cup of coffee, came home, I wasn't very hungry, so I cut up strawberries and blackberries and did Greek yogurt and a piece of toast and orange juice. That was my lunch. Then for dinner, what did we do for dinner? Dinner, I did Yoshida's chicken and rice for me and the kids, and I did vegetables, a broccoli, cauliflower, and carrot like mix. So, and that was my day. I'm not much of a snacker. I've never been a snacker, ever. I don't know why. So that's kind of my day. I really just stick to my meals. And I have to say, my meals are usually not small portioned, you know what I mean? Like I actually have a breakfast and lunch and a dinner, and I don't snack in between. That was yesterday. So I try to eat, I am not a health freak. I don't like eat like super healthy, but I do like to stay healthy. Like I don't like to eat fast food. I don't like to order pizza. I actually can't stand pizza. Isn't that weird? Is that weird that I don't like ordering pizza? Probably because Zach orders it so much. Let's see. If I were to snack, let me think of a snack. Nutella and apples. That's usually what I snack on. Fruit. Wyatt and Zoe questions. Alisha, what's the baby's middle name? It's James. Uh-oh. Oopsie doodle. Hee hee. Sawyer James. James is after his uncle and his grandpa on Zach's side. So, what is your view and experience on breastfeeding versus bottle feeding? So I have done both for both Wyatt and Zoe. Wyatt, because he was my first and I don't think I was educated enough, I thought I wasn't feeding him enough, so I would supplement with formula and bottle feeding. Of course, bottle feeding, in its way, is easier because you can just pop a bottle in their mouth. But in a way, breastfeeding is easier and cheaper because you can just pull out your boob. With Zoe, I was wanting to do just breastfeeding, but her medical condition prevented me from doing just that. I had to pump, breastfeed, and I had to add a special formula to my breast milk in the bottle to fatten it up because she wasn't gaining weight because of her medical condition. With Sawyer, I hope to just breastfeed. I only say this because I believe that breastfeeding is the only way to go. I mean, that's what nature wants us to do. It's the healthiest for your baby. It's great for you. What, baby? So I hope he is the one that I can do this with. With both my kids, I'm still very proud of how I fed them. I don't think it's not a competition or you don't get like a medal because, but anyways, I was able to breastfeed both of them past 12 months, so I'm proud of that. And it got me close to my babies. And I've said this before, because I couldn't vaginally deliver either one of them, I felt like that gave me that bond that I felt like I was missing. That breastfeeding gave me that closeness that I felt like I was missing from labor. Does that make sense? Let's see. Gosh, it keeps scrolling back up. How annoying. But I have to say this about breastfeeding also. I will be pumping occasionally so that Zach can feed the baby and so that I can have a little bit of freedom as a mother, because I want my babies adapted to a bottle so that way I can run to the store without worrying, you know, has it been 2 hours? You know what I mean? Okay, so this one's a long one. It is, were you employed before you met Zach? Yes, I was a teenager. I was 16 years old when I met Zach. I've worked many jobs, but my main jobs were, I was a barista at Starbucks and different coffee shops. I've waitressed, but I was a waitress. I worked at a dry cleaning place. I've done a lot of things. Before I had Wyatt, I was working as a receptionist at the Naval Hospital and Urgent Care Clinic. And then that's when I started YouTube. I thought I was gonna go back to work after Wyatt, but we ended up moving and it just didn't work out that way. So, let me see. I think YouTubing will go just fine. I think I definitely will be busy, but I always seem to manage to make time. So there's probably going to be lots of interruptions like today, but I'm a mom and that's just how it works. I'm a mom vlogger, so you can always expect kids running around like crazy. So has Zach's ambition always been to be with the Blue Angels? No, it hasn't always been his ambition. He's always been very driven. He's always been a driven guy. And it just seemed like the best career move for him. And it's such a great opportunity. He's always excelled with the military. So it just seemed like the next step. And I'm so proud of my husband. I mean, I could just brag about how well he's done. He's just such a good sailor and such a good guy, and he deserves everything because he's worked so hard. So, but I think, yeah, it developed along the way. So, also as a military wife, have you regulations and etiquette? No, but not necessarily, but I do think that any person should carry themselves with respect and courtesy and just being a good person. So, you know, as a military wife, I don't do that because I'm a military wife. I do that because I want to be a good person. So, but no, I think sometimes women feel like there is a certain way you need to behave or act. I think you need to be yourself and respect others. Could you not? My cats are here playing with stuff. Oh, yeah, yeah. Let's see. And has it been difficult? It hasn't been difficult. I've always been a people person. I've always gotten along with people, so I find that it's easy for me. Have you been working out? If so, what workouts have you been doing during this pregnancy? I was at the beginning of the pregnancy. I was working on my treadmill, but with the move, well, one, we got rid of the treadmill before we moved, so I no longer have that, but I have 2 young children, so that keeps me pretty active. I feel like I'm always on my feet, but I haven't been doing exercises. I walk, we still go on walks, but that's pretty much it as far as exercise goes. And I do plan on working out after Sawyer. So, hi Alisha. My question is to you. Will you have help? Then go find it. I think you left it in the bathroom. Will you have help from the kids' grandma or aunt after Sawyer's arrival? Yes, my mother-in-law, Nana, Zach's mom, will be coming out to help for 2 weeks. She gets to come visit us for 2 weeks and we're so excited. And then I'm sure Auntie Amanda, Zach's sister, will be coming out sometime before summer or summer. I'm not sure when. Just depends on her work schedule. Is your family going to come to Florida for a birth of Sawyer? Are you more nervous about this labor since you've already been through it twice? My family, like my mom and my dad and my sister, my mom and my dad probably will not be coming out for Sawyer's birth. It's quite costly to fly this way. But my little sister is now working, so she might come out to visit sometime soon in the summer sometime, but we'll see. Am I more nervous about this labor? I am about this labor because I'm trying for a VBAC. And I'm more nervous about it because I feel like I can't plan, and I'm very much a planner. My family isn't close, and Zach is in California, so just having the people that I need most out of reach is really hard for me, so that makes me nervous, but it will happen either way. I'm so happy you're back doing videos. And did you figure out the car situation you mentioned before you moved? Yes, we're keeping the car we have. I was able to figure out that the Chico infant car seat actually fits between our two Graco 3-in-1 car seats. So all 3 kids will fit in the back. It is definitely a tight squeeze, but it's going to work. We really didn't want to up our car payment or extend our car payment for a trade-in. So we will just see how this goes. I mean, if it's too difficult, of course, we'll have to find something bigger, but we got it to work for now. And do you like Florida so far? Honestly, yes and no. I'm gonna be honest because I'm just an honest person. I had a hard time only because I had a hard time adjusting. You know, I was really kind of thrown into this, and it's a lot different. Like if I wasn't a mother and I didn't have kids, I'm sure it would have been a lot easier to adjust, but with having kids, it was difficult. It was difficult for my kids to say goodbye to their family, so I had a lot of guilt about that. And I miss my family terribly, and so that was hard. It's just, there was a lot of stresses coming here about trying to get our house rented out, and just a lot of things that were not settled back home before we came here. So, but I'm finally getting into the routine of things, like Wyatt's in school, so I bring him to school every day. And so it's definitely getting better. And Zach's been gone basically the entire time since we've been here. So that's been difficult, but things will get better. I know they will. So I am adjusting well. Going to the beach, let me tell you, that totally makes me feel so much better because the beaches here are beautiful. How do the kids respond when Zach is away? How do you handle being with the kids alone? The kids, as they're getting older, it's getting harder. They ask for their dad a lot. So it's getting harder as they're getting older. How do you handle being with the kids alone? It's fine. My kids are so great, and I mean, definitely I have days where it's like, oh my gosh, I just need a break, but I've been doing it this way for so long, basically for 5 years. So, I don't know, I just stay busy. I find a hobby like YouTube, and I keep my house clean, and I do mommy stuff. I don't know. Alisha, how did you come up with the name Sawyer? And will it be your last baby? Excuse me. Sawyer. I've always liked the name Sawyer, and so is Zach. It's kind of the only boy name that we could agree on, and I just think it goes so well with Wyatt and Zoe. And so, I don't know, it's always been kind of on our list since Wyatt, and it just sounded, we wanted to do a family name for the middle name, so it just sounded so good with Sawyer James, so that's how we got it. And I'm not sure if this is my last baby, but another baby will be far down the road, if that happens. Are you nervous about going from 2 to 3? Yes and no, I already answered that. What's Sawyer's middle name? How do you deal with 2 kids alone? I already answered that. How do the kids deal with Zach being away when he's gone? I already answered that. Where did you grow up, schooling, and jobs? I grew up in Washington State, outside of Seattle. Wow, you got lots of attitude. Your schooling and jobs. I don't know what you mean by schooling. I graduated high school, and I was working. I started supporting myself as soon as I graduated. I moved to Idaho right after graduation and got my own place. and worked a few jobs. So, what, baby? You want to come sit with me?
No.
Your milk is in the bathroom. Or is it in the blanket? Let me see. Let's see, it's not in here. Little owl and your milk is in that bathroom. Why don't you go get it? Okay. She's just acting like a 2-year-old, that's all. Do you plan on having more kids? How did you and your husband meet? We met on a rafting camping trip back in 2000, I don't even know what year that was. 2003? Yep. In the summer of 2003. He was 15, just turning 16, and I was 16, on my way to 17. My friend invited me to go rafting and camping in Idaho, and it was summer break, and I said, yeah. And he was there, and we started dating. We instantly had a connection and started dating quickly, and we're long distance for a year and a half. What's so funny? What's so funny? Chester?
Yeah.
And we started dating. We dated long distance for a year and a half, and then I moved to Idaho to be with him. And then, yeah. So, let me see. Oh, yeah. If I lose my spot one more time. All these interruptions. Bonk. Do you want more kids? What kind of birth control do you plan on using? I am a little unsure about that right now. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't know yet. Hello, Alisha. My name is Bianca. Hi, Bianca. I've never asked a YouTuber a question before, but I definitely feel like you are so relatable and down to earth. That's really sweet. How do you cope with the stresses of being a stay-at-home mom with 2 young children and being 31 weeks pregnant? I'm only 16 and a half weeks along, looking to become a stay-at-home mom when the baby comes along, and any ways to cope with stresses would be so helpful. Oh my gosh, she's upside down. Basically, when you become a mom, you learn to be very patient. I see. You learn to pick your battles. And the best way for me and being pregnant and dealing with the kids is finding activities to do with them instead of just like battling your kids. Do you know what I mean? So the kids just really want, especially their moms, they really just want attention. So sitting on the floor and coloring with them and playing cars with them just makes them happy. And so having them happy really makes you happy. And yeah, so just, I don't know, just staying busy with the kids, going to do things with the kids. It is getting harder as I get further along. But I don't know, just all of you staying busy together is a great way. And then making sure your kids, hold on, hello. Just making sure that your kids are on the same schedule. So nap time for Wyatt and Zoe is at the same time. So I can choose what I want to do with their nap time. I could choose to nap with them, which has been happening a lot, or I could choose to do my own thing. Any solid girl names picked out before you found out you were having a boy? If so, would you mind sharing them? Let me think. No, we really actually didn't have any names picked for a girl. I felt like, this is really sad, but we were so busy at the beginning of my pregnancy with the move and everything. We kind of decided that we wouldn't even try to think about names until we found out if it was a boy or girl. So we really didn't even have a list going. I can't even think of some of the names that I liked. No, I'm sorry. How do you guys pick out Zoe and Wyatt's name and Sawyer's name? So Wyatt's name is actually after his father. Zach's middle name is Wyatt. So he's Zachary Wyatt, so we took that. And we just love the name Liam. I just think it went so well. It kind of modernized, is that the right word? It kind of made Wyatt, it's just dirty. It kind of made Wyatt's name more modern. Does that make sense? Because Wyatt is such a classic name. And Zoe, we wanted to do something unique for her. But we loved the idea of using a Z because there's not a lot of Z names like Zach. So we did Zoe, and then Ray, that kind of made her modern, unique name more classic. So Zoe Ray. And then also like the 3 letters, the Z-O-E-R-A-E. We liked that. Oh, I lost my spot again. Every time my screen dims, it loses its spot. And then I already answered how we got Sawyer's name. What is a few things that you absolutely love and get a kick out of that's special about each of your kids? Oh my gosh, there is too many to count. Okay, so Wyatt is such a goofball. He's such a silly boy. He finds himself very funny and he has a lot of confidence. But then he also is scared of the craziest things. He had a huge, I know a lot of kids have a fear of the toilet, but he also has a fear that his sister is gonna fall in the toilet, that the cat's gonna fall in the toilet. He's very hesitant to try new things, which is very strange because he has such a large confidence. Like he'll tell you he's handsome and he'll tell you he's the fastest boy. But when it comes to doing things like writing his name, he's unsure of himself. So, but he's so genuine and he's got the biggest heart ever. And I just think, and it's so funny, one of my favorite things he does now is he'll do something funny and I'll laugh at him. And he's like, what'd I do? He wants to hear why he's funny. So, yeah, and then he's such a good brother. He takes care of his sister. I mean, they definitely have their moments, but he's always concerned about Zoe, and he talks to her and like I do. He'll be like, oh, baby, it's okay, and he'll rub her head. So he's just a caring little boy. Zoe is my sweet and sour. She has mood swings like no other, and then she's a goofball. I think it's so fun. I'm back. So it is now 1 o'clock and this is attempt number 5 to try to record this. My kids are sick and very crabby, so it makes for a tough situation to film a video. Okay. I believe, what's your favorite perfumes and makeup products? I'm not huge into makeup and perfume. I know that I love my orange Maybelline waterproof mascara. Been using it for years. It's my favorite. Perfume, I love my, I don't know the name of it, the blue Ralph Lauren. It's in like a short, like rounded bottle. Been using that since Zach bought it for me when I was in high school, so it's the smell that he likes on me, so I have never changed it. And bronzer. Those are like my 3 beauty products that I like. I believe I was talking about Zoe and my favorite traits of Zoe's. So she's a cuddle bug. She loves to cuddle. She loves to grab her milk with a comfy blanket and sit on your lap and just cuddle. Both my kids are super affectionate, but she's like so tiny, and I don't know, she's just so cute and it's so easy to cuddle her. So she's a cuddle bug, and then she's got such a funny personality. Her favorite things to say right now is that's awesome, I love it. And she's just a silly girl, and I love that she's starting to take some of her brother's personality and make it into her own. And she's kind of a handful because she's got such personality, but I look forward to see what that's going to develop into. And she loves to draw and to be like Play-Doh drawing and everything like that. That's like me. When I was a little girl, I was very artistic. Wyatt doesn't really care for drawing and stuff like that. He prefers playing and being active, like his dad, just busy. If Zoe or Wyatt asks to nurse after the baby is born, what would you do? I'll just explain to him that it's the baby's food. I won't be nursing them. They're far past that stage. Wyatt's will be 5 this month, and Zoe is nearly 3, so they haven't nursed since they were 1.5. So I'll just explain to him that it's all for Sawyer, and probably explain to him that they did their turn already of nursing. So I just love you and your videos. I've been watching since your video finding out you were pregnant with baby number 2 both times. You're just the most amazing person. You're a phenomenal and loving mom. I really hope to be at least half the mother. And how I stay motivated, I don't know how I stay motivated. I am just a very busy person. I have a hard time sitting still, so that gives me motivation. I would love, actually, if I could be more lazy. If I could just lay on the couch, it would be wonderful. But my kids are so active, so I have to be active. I don't know. And how do I keep from going crazy? Sometimes I go crazy. Sometimes it's hard for me. Maybe that's why I get out of the house, because I go crazy being locked up in the house for too long. So what is your dream job? Well, if I could make YouTube and my channel successful, that would be amazing. But I actually would really like to own my own business. I would like to own my own coffee shop. And yeah, to have my own business would be my dream job. If you guys got the opportunity to be stationed overseas, what country would you want to live in? And then a Zoe and Wyatt question. We both really want to go to Australia, and I think it'd be awesome to be stationed there. How old were you and Zach when you started dating, and how long you've been married? He was 15 right before he turned 16, and I was 16 turning 17. And so we've been together for 11 years, going on 11 years, and going on 7 years. Wait, 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Right? Yeah, going on 8 years of marriage. Did you ever think you would have another kid? And if you didn't plan to, what would you do after this baby? I knew I always wanted another. Zach was actually wanting to wait. We weren't wanting another child at the time. But of course, we're so excited to have another baby. So, and then after this baby, we're taking a long break. I have a VBAC. Are you going to film the labor and delivery Sawyer's birth? Yes, I will. No matter how Sawyer comes into this world, we will be filming it. How do you plan on preparing your little ones for Sawyer's arrival? Do you plan on having any more children, or are you done? It's so funny. I'm not even, this third baby's not even out of me, and you guys are already wondering about the fourth. So how I prepare Wyatt and Zoe for Sawyer is just talking about it with them constantly and asking if they're excited and how they can help. That's another way I prepare. How I prepared them is just having their help. Like they've been helping with making the nursery, packing the hospital bag. I just keep them very involved. And then Wyatt, you know, he feels my belly move. And Zoe, I don't think she quite gets it, but she's such a caring and loving. She already does that mommy thing. So I think my kids are really prepared. Oh, that was my cats. So that's all the questions. I am so sorry that it is everywhere. I don't even know if I have light anymore. I hope I do. And after the kids wake up from their naps, they will answer your questions. So